Chapter 32. Chris. Getting to the college, I park next to Josh as Max pulls up behind my bike. I walk over to his car as he rolls down the passenger window. "You forgot your bag," he laughs, and I hear Josh lose it behind me as I grab my bag. Whispering, Max adds, "At least he is laughing. Will he be okay?" "I hope so," I whisper, and spin around to see Josh bent over laughing. "What?" I ask, and start to laugh with him. "Daddy had to bring you your school bag," Josh says in a baby voice, so I flip him off. Walking up to the building, Josh runs up next to me as I pull out my phone to text Rachel. "Love you, baby. Miss you."
"Love you too, baby. Miss you more."
Don't see how that is possible at the moment.
"Are you okay, honey? What is wrong? What happened?"
I wish I was holding you right now.
"Me too."
Feeling my shirt being pulled, I look up to see I almost ran into the door. I turn to find Josh has my shirt and is trying so hard not to laugh. I stick out my tongue and put my phone up. I walk into my class as Josh goes to his class, so I find my seat and pull out my phone to text my girl again. I almost ran into a door.
"What? How? Why?"
Texting my girlfriend and not paying attention.
"So it's my fault?"
Nope. Your brother grabbed my shirt before I hit the door.
"Good. If you got hurt, I would kill him."
It wasn't his fault either. I wasn't watching where I was going.
"So? What are you doing after school?"
I need to go by the hotel for a while, then I will go to the shop for a bit. Maybe go to the track tonight? Why?
"Just asking."
I can just come over if you want.
"No, it's fine, baby. I was just asking." "Belle, I have to go. Love you."
Love you too. When I look up, I see the room has filled up, so I pull out my books. I go through my next few classes, bored out of my mind. When it is lunchtime, I go find Josh. He is on the hood of his car, so I join him. Max isn't answering me. I was trying to find out what we are doing later. Josh fusses, so I pull out my phone. "What are you doing today?" "I'm at the hotel at the moment. There is a big meeting later. Your dad said he tried to text you about it, but you wouldn't answer him." Josh is pouting that you didn't answer him. "I'm so sorry. I have been so busy, man." "No problem. What do you need from him today?" "There isn't really anything he can do, so he can have the day off after school." "Oh, and your dad is mad at you." "He always is, right?" Putting up my phone, I look at Josh and stick out my tongue. "He is busy today. You can have the day off," I tease as he pouts. "Why didn't he text me back?" Josh says, like a baby, "He has 2 phones, man. One is his everyday phone. That is the number you have. He turns the sound off when he is really busy. The other phone, only I have the number, and the sound is never off, so I can always get a hold of him." I explained to Josh. "That makes me feel better now, I guess," Josh whispers, making me laugh. Then he turns to me and adds, "Wait, my sister only has 1 phone, and she doesn't answer me most of the time, but she always answers you. That is just the upside of being her boyfriend," I say with a huge smile. "What are we eating?" I add, as my stomach growls. "Did you eat dinner?" Josh asks, and memories of what I was doing yesterday afternoon flood my mind. After a moment, Josh adds, "I don't want to know," and slides off the car. I go to say where I want to go, but Josh puts his hand up before I get a word out. "If you save my sister, I will hit you." He laughs, making me laugh. I was going to say Buona Novera, but now I want something else. I say, "Get in the damn car, man." Josh fusses as he gets in. When we get to Buona Novera, Josh turns to me. "If you tell her we ate here and she hits me, I will hit you." He laughs. "I will make it up to her." I laugh as I get out. "I don't want to know," Josh whispers, making me stop and lean on the side of the car. "Josh, I was meaning I will cook her something. She doesn't want to come here. She just wants me to cook for her. We do more than just have sex, man." I protest, and hate that is all he thinks we do. "Look, I didn't mean to upset you, Chris. I know y'all do more than that, and I'm glad. It was meant as a joke, nothing more. My dad told me what you said yesterday. Josh says, and pauses, as my mouth falls open, so he continues. He texted me last night and told me, yes, I was jealous of what y'all have because I've never had that. While I was reading the text, I was watching the girl next to me sleep, and I know I would never say that about her, but she is also a great girl. So I just buried the feelings like I always have. This morning, I was in the hallway when you asked her if I was the only one. I have to tell you, man, that hurt because she told me I was. But when her brother asked her something like that and she didn't answer, I knew she lied to me. When he is done talking, I am speechless. So we just stand in silence for a moment until my stomach growls again, making Josh laugh. Grabbing my arm, Josh pulls me to the door, making me laugh. When we walk in the door, the waitress comes up to us.
Mr. Preston, would you like your normal table?
She asks, so I nod my head and we go to the back corner to a VIP table. As we sit down, she pulls a curtain close. When she brings our drinks back, she pauses for a minute, so I ask, do you need something? Looking at the table, she whispers,
The chef wants to talk to you, Mr. Preston.
I look at Josh, but he pulls out his phone and starts to play a game. Get his order, I will give mine to the chef, I tell her, and walk to the kitchen. When I first walk through the door, a guy comes up to me.
Sorry, sir, but guests aren't allowed back here.
I look at him, but say nothing, so he just looks at me. I will give him one thing, he is being nice about it, so I will make that a point when he gets in trouble. As the waitress for our table walks in, she sees me standing by the door.
Mr. Preston, this way,
she says, and the guy in front of me turns white as another one behind him starts to laugh. Walking over to the chef, he gets a worried look on his face. Hey man, I say, as he takes a deep breath.
Mr. Preston, we have a problem,
he says and looks around. Do you have anyone here that can take over? I whisper as he nods and walks over to an older lady not far away. Once she takes over cooking, we walk to his office. When we go inside, he sits in the seat for a guest, making me laugh. Your office, sir, I say, and point to his chair. With a smile, he changes seats, so I sit where he was and ask, so what is the problem?
Have you seen the file I sent to Jake?
He asks. Sorry, no sir. I was out of the country last week. I just got back yesterday, I answer.
I think we have an employee stealing from us, sir,
he whispers, and then looks down. Why do you think that? I ask.
Well, we are going through more food than we are selling. All the orders get put in the computer, as you know, so that should be keeping track of what we use. I have even checked everything myself, but what the computer says we should have, we don't. So I looked at the last time everything balanced out and worked from there, figuring out what we use and what we get. The computer is right. We are short.
Okay, so you know about when the problem started. So was there anyone hired in that time that you have questions about? I ask. So he starts to think.
Yes, this one girl. I want to say her name is Tiffany.
Did you put that in the file? I ask. But by his expression, I'm going to assume that is a no. You did great on everything you did, but in the future, I also need a list of people you or others may think is the problem. Even if it plays out that they did nothing wrong, I still need to know. What I will do is have the cameras pulled from the time frame you gave me in the file, and I will look over your work. You have done the hard part, so thanks, I add, but he looks confused.
What? There are cameras here?
He asks, making me laugh. Not something I tell people, so I would like you to keep that to yourself. I would rather my employees be honest on their own and not just because of a camera. I answer him. I laugh as he acts like he is zipping his lips and throwing the key. As I walk out of the office, I see my waitress. So I tell her, just put my name on the order. He knows what I want. The chef laughs behind me and whispers,
No, I don't. I just guess, and whatever sounds good to me at that moment is what I send.
I just shrug. I've never been disappointed.
I sure hope not, since you made the menu.
He jokes, making me laugh. Since I have only ever called him Chef, I have no clue what his damn name is. Thanks, Chef, I say, making him laugh. Since he never says anything about it, I guess I never learned his name. But a lot of people know I deal with way too many people to remember all their names. Walking back to the table, I sit down as Josh asks, "Is everything okay?" "I have a great job for you," I whisper as he looks at me. "I have some cameras that need checked. Does that sound like something you can do?" I ask. "Sure, what for?" he asks, so I whisper, "I'll tell you later." After we eat, we head back to school. On the way back, I tell him what is going on. The chef thinks we have a theft at the restaurant, so I need the cameras checked, I ask. "I can do that." He smiles, so I smile back and ask, "After school, what are you doing?" "Nothing now," he answers. "Okay, I have a meeting at the hotel, so I will have Jake take you to my room and put it up on my computer. You can also look over the file the chef sent over, but if you don't understand the file, that is fine." "Will it be like an inventory sheet?" he asks, so I look at him, making him laugh. I worked in fast food places for years, man. That was the only job I could seem to get. Yes, it should be, but I'm not sure what an inventory sheet for a fast food place looks like. He should have also put all his work in there, so I just need you to check it to make sure he is right, and it isn't a computer problem, I answer. After we finish with school, we head to the hotel. Since we have a meeting today, I go straight to the conference room to find Jake. Josh is going to look at the Bonavera file for me, so can you take him to my office and pull up the cameras and get him the file, please? I ask. "Yes, I can. Right this way, Josh," Jake says, so Josh follows. Taking my seat, I see my father at the other end of the table. "I texted you," he says, so I pull out my phone and finally pull up his text. "We have a meeting Friday at the hotel. Can you be there?" Laughing, I look at my dad. "I am here," I say, as Max starts to laugh. "Did you just look at that?" Dad asks, so I nod my head. Dad doesn't say anything as he shakes his head. Max hands me some files, so I open the top one up and start to look over it. This is the Blaine Hotel build that is almost done. The next file is for a build at my parents' house to put in another horse stall, so I sign it and slide it across the table to Dad. Getting to the next one, this is a file for tools and stuff that are going to the lake house, so I sign it and give it to Max. He opens the file, then puts it in his bag. I go through a few other files, making a stack in front of me. The last file I come to is for an extension of my dad's construction company, so I sign it and slide it across the table to him. Looking at him, I see him smile as he looks at the file, making me laugh. As the door opens, I look over to see a few more people walk in. Brad walks in the room and over to me.
"Mr. Preston, sorry I'm late,"
he says, lowering his head. "You're not, Mr. Blaine. We haven't started yet."
"Is it okay if my son sits in for the meeting so he can learn about this side of the business?"
I don't answer because I hate that kid, and I just nod. Brad pulls out his phone, so I guess he is texting his son. Sitting down, Brad starts to look at some papers in a folder. Not long after, Blake walks in the room and over to his dad. Blake whispers something to his dad, and I guess by Brad's expression, Blake is bitching.
"Son, I will not give you money forever, so either you learn to work or you find another way to get money,"
Brad says, making me smile. That is how my kids were raised, Dad says. So I look at him.
If you don't mind me asking, how old were you when you started working?
Brad asked me. He was 6. Dad answers, as Blake drops his jaw, making me smile. As Jake opens the door to walk in the room, I hear him talking to someone, so I look around. Who are we missing?